Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So we are heading into the finale of the Red Death storyline in this week's upcoming 5th episode of the 9th and final season of The Flash, and I am very interested and just curious to see how it ends, because from what I've seen online in both my comments section to reviews and just other videos and on Twitter and in the streams we do and stuff like that, the response to this storyline seems to be pretty mixed. I think that's the best way to put it. Some people are really liking it, maybe not a 10 out of 10, but like an 8 or something and like that or above. But then there's some who aren't vibing with it at all. I don't know if anyone would be hating it, but not vibing with it, maybe like 3 or 4 out of 10 or something like that. And then there's some in the middle where it's just, it's just okay. It's like a okay storyline, but I won't really remember it moving forward. And that's probably me. Like, I like some aspects of it, not a fan of others, and there are just a few questions and holes in the story that I think need to be filled in and answered in this week's finale. If they are, my opinion might lean towards more the positive, but that's a wait and see. But in this video, we are going to go over a few pieces of promo material that have to do with the wrap-up of this Red Death storyline, as well as the immediate aftermath in the following episode. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and predictions moving into this finale and your expectations and what you would like answered or revealed or accomplished or whatever you might want to put down there. Let me know in the comment section down below and any other theories for the other stuff we talk about. And of course, if you go on to enjoy the video, want to show support and everything like that, why not drop a like on the video too? Do all that. So the first thing to mention is that The Flash should be wrapping today from when this video goes out. Now, there is some talk that it might not wrap until Monday, but that might be some minor shooting. But I think the majority, if not all of the cast, finishes today. So on Monday, there might be some really minor stuff. But I think the official production doesn't wrap till Monday from what's being said. But the majority of it finishes today. So yeah, that's it for filming. That's crazy. Now, one other little bit of information before we jump into everything is that there is no Flash after episode 6. That doesn't mean we don't get the other episodes, but the week after episode 6, there isn't an episode. There's like a repeat of an episode. I think it might be the premiere. So March 22nd, there will be no new Flash episode that week. However, I am planning a special live stream that I think I'll do on YouTube. Might be on Twitch, depends, but I think I'll do on YouTube with a few people to fill that void. And we'll have a lot of fun, be very interactive and stuff. I've still got to plan it, so I'm not saying it's going to 100% happen, but I want to do it and I have enough time to plan it in advance. So fingers crossed things work out. So keep your eyes out for that, but I'll make sure to mention it maybe in another live stream beforehand or in other videos and stuff like that. But the first thing to go over in this video are some promo images for this week's upcoming episode, the finale for the Red Death storyline, or the episode being called The Mask of the Red Death Part 2. Now, there isn't a lot. There's only 4 images. Now, it's sort of weird because we've actually seen, I think, most, if not all of these images prior to these actually being officially released, because they were used months ago as like the first look, which is crazy. Usually I think like episode 1 first look photos are the ones they use as like, for the first look thing for the entire season, but they used episode 5 ones, which is crazy. So let's have a look at them. So the first one here is Barry and Iris hugging. Now, I don't think this one especially was put out there, but it's like that general scene. Now, when you look at them together with the other ones where you have like Cecile here smiling at, well, this is the back of Barry's head, obviously. So Cecile's smiling there. You can tell they're in Joe's house. Then we have Joe smiling as well, holding a drink in his hand. And of course, one of the other promo images that was released prior to the season, which is in this exact same thing, it's like Barry and Iris sitting next to each other, and Iris was drinking a glass of water. Now, I think this thing is the obvious one, which is that Iris finds out she's pregnant, which I think would actually go against the map book, unless there's a flash forward or something, like we flash forward like 2 months or something to this moment. Maybe I'm not 100% sure if there will be a time jump or not, but it would be going against the map book, I'm pretty sure, in regards to what the date said in regards to when Iris finds out she's pregnant. But that is most likely what's happening here, but it also wouldn't shock me too much if there's this scene here where they plan on buying Joe's house, because it's said in the map book as well that they live in that house. Like, that's where Bart and Nora are raised, in that house, and Joe and Cecile don't live there anymore. It's Barry and Iris' house. They move in there. So wouldn't surprise me if that's set up in this scene as well. And also, as I said in my trailer breakdown for this episode, based on what we know, this is Joe's last episode, at least in the present day, for a while. I think he probably won't show up again until the finale, at least in regards to the present day, but he will be in another episode or two in flashback scenes, so, or time travel scenes, whichever way you want to put it. So that might be a bit of like a mixture of emotion as well when it comes to the Joe stuff as well. We know he's in the finale, but we don't know where he falls into other episodes, so this might be the last we see of Joe in the present day for a while. And the last promo image for this episode is one that we saw a while. I think this was like literally the first look we got of this season. Barry in Star Labs with his blue light. Yeah, we saw this ages ago, but this is for this episode. So this is where this will happen. Yeah. So I wonder exactly, he looks scared. Barry looks like, oh, damn, something bad has happened. So he looks quite worried. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now, in regards to Iris being pregnant, I mean, it's not a shock. I mean, anyone with half a brain knew that was going to happen, you know, pretty close to this region of the season. Might have happened 2 episodes later or something, but around this point of the season. So then they can build up to the point where maybe by the end of the season, if they do like a 3-month time jump or 6-month time jump, whatever it is, Iris has Nora. And they might even change the timeline maybe where Bart and Nora are twins, because at the moment they're not. Nora's a few years older than Bart, but who knows what they're going to do. But yeah, as I said, not much there with the promo images. They're keeping spoilers to a minimum. I mean, Iris being pregnant really isn't even a spoiler, so it doesn't even really matter if they reveal that there, because everyone knew that was coming. But the next thing to go over is actually some stuff for episode 6. This is the episode following the Red Death arc. We're getting that the week after the Red Death arc finishes, and then we're going to go on a week, maybe 2 weeks break. There might be 2 weeks off. We just know that March 22nd is the start with no Flash episodes. There might be more weeks off after that. We'll have to wait and see. But episode 6 is called The Good, The Bad, and The Lucky. And I think I might have done the synopsis in another video, but we'll quickly read it now just in case we've forgotten it. Luck be a lady. As Barry and Iris prepare for their new life, luck changes for those in Central City. Cecile takes on a case with Allegra's help, involving a string of unfortunate and highly unexpected events. Meanwhile, Chester and the team work with Thawne to figure out her abilities. So yeah, this is a pretty obvious thing in regards to who's showing up in this episode, and that is the return of Becky Sharp, aka Hazard, from season 4. Now, the interesting thing with this is that this character died back in season 4. She was a part of the whole DeVoe thing where she died and everything like that. So I am wondering if anyone else survived, or conveniently it's just going to be her character, or maybe they're just in this post-crisis timeline, she got her meta powers, but she didn't go on that bus, or she didn't get them from the bus. Maybe the bus didn't even happen, who knows? But yeah, she didn't get her powers through that specific event, or she was just lucky enough to not be a part of DeVoe's plan and didn't die. So who knows what's going to happen there, but she's back in this episode, and it's in the present day as well. Now, one thing that people were worried about is that there's not going to be any Barry and Iris in this episode for the most part. But if we do look through this, the promo images for this episode, once again, like episode 5, episode 6 only has 4 promo images. But we do have Barry and Iris in Star Labs here, with Barry hugging Chester, and I think that's Iris hugging Allegra. It would be actually, because Keown's hair is different, and Thawne wouldn't wear that. So yeah, Iris hugging Allegra. The only issue here is that Iris's hair is different, so that a lot of people think this might be like a time jump where Barry and Iris have gone on holiday or whatever it might be. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like they've come back and maybe they're celebrating maybe Iris finding out she's pregnant, but then again, maybe they're hugging because they went away on holiday or something. So maybe there is a time jump. Maybe Barrett Iris went away for a month or something like that, and now they're coming back for the first time. I'm not too sure. The other option is that maybe in those previous promo images, when you see Barry and Iris talking to Joe and Cecile and they look all happy and it looks like they've found out that Iris is pregnant, maybe there is a time jump and they don't officially announce it to everyone until you get past that first trimester, which I think that's when you'd normally publicly announce you're pregnant, just because it can be medical complications. So maybe that's what happened. There might be a time jump, there might not be. That's a wait and see. Because this storyline at the moment is happening in a pretty short amount of time, so maybe they might want to do a time jump just so they can skip ahead a bit, but that's a wait and see. Nothing's been confirmed as of yet. But the reason that makes me think that Barry and Iris, or at least Barry, might be in this episode more, is it says that meanwhile, Chester and the team work with Thawne to figure out her abilities. Now, is Chester and the team Cecile and Allegra? Because they're on their own mission. So if it's not Cecile and Allegra, who's the team? It's just Chester or Barry. It's like, it wouldn't say and the team. So maybe Barry is in this episode, and hopefully this wouldn't be a repeat of that Allegra episode from season 7 where this Team Flash member who has to learn their powers does it without the leader of Team Flash. And that's why that episode was so bad, because Barry wasn't even in that episode, or at least wasn't helping Allegra. So hopefully that happens in this episode, otherwise we might get a repeat. But one of the other promo images here is you see Barry and Chester next to each other. You can see Cecile and Thawne in the background, but you can see purple balloons. So this seems to be like a pregnancy celebration. I don't know if it'd be a baby shower, because obviously they wouldn't get to the baby that quick, but some sort of celebration. Obviously, purple being Nora, and also if you look in the back, you can see like the mobile thing that would normally go above like a baby's crib. And I think that has the XS logo in the back there. on the little logo thing there. I think that's the XS logo. So yeah, it seems like they're like, hey, it's Nora. So I wonder if there's a surprise. I wonder if they get like a surprise later in the season when they go to the doctor and it's like, oh, actually it's twins, dun dun dun, something like that. And it's like, oh crap, we're having Bart and Nora, we're having Nora and Bart. Oh my god. So maybe that happens. Might be another timeline change, who knows. But yeah, with Thawne, her powers are going to be explored, which I think is very important because, as I've said, I think I said in my trailer breakdown for episode 5, we need to get this character out of Star Labs in regards to just chilling there and lingering because the dialogue is not good that they're writing. So let her do her powers, let her explore them, and maybe the powers get properly revealed in this week's upcoming 5th episode, in like the Red Death finale. I don't know if it'd be like a vital thing for her, but maybe she just reveals them at some point, and then that's like, I don't know if it's a cliffhanger leading into this episode, but some sort of like lead on into this episode, and then we can explore them more and all that stuff. But I am wondering how people are feeling about this episode. If it is a Cecile and Allegra focused episode, you might have to let me know in the comments whether you don't really care or you're worried. I think we need Barry in this episode in some way. I think if Barry's gone the entire episode, or at least is like one at the beginning and then the end, that could be a worry. So I think Barry might need to work with Chester and Thawne for this segment of the episode. And if Cecile and Allegra thing is the main thing, okay, whatever. But I think you need Barry in this episode to keep people's attention. So hopefully that happens. Because we also know we're getting that episode with Nia Nal from Supergirl coming over and Iris doing that journalist thing. And I don't think Barry's going to be in that episode at all. By the sounds of it, he's not, from everything that's been like said. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to have 2 episodes without Barry in them within like a 3 or 4 episode run. So hopefully he's in this one. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome. You could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all the stuff we went over in this video, your expectations for the Red Death finale, your thoughts on episode 6 and everything like that. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.